the Attitude Era wouldn't really be the Attitude Era without a lot of you guys.
Well, I said that all the time on independent shows when I'm cutting promos. People can't deny that the Attitude Era did not have a positive influence on the Attitude Era. I should say ECW. The Attitude Era can't deny that ECW had a positive influence. Right. And it was one of those things where you can't deny it. They weren't doing things like we were doing, the tables, the ladders, and all that. And then all of a sudden you start seeing it happen in WWE. And now you're like, okay, this is very ECW influenced. And that's exactly what was going on.
And you guys had a lot of ECW stars come out. Can't even, so many. Taz, Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam, Shane Douglas, RVD, Mikey Whipwreck, who didn't go to WWE, Spike,
Cactus Jack,
PJ, Just Incredible, Taz, Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. All before they got to WCW, those guys. We had a lot of people. Steve Austin, after he got fired from WCW, by Eric Bischoff, which you talk about karma. Oof, man. Think about it. You fire Steve on the phone about being hurt in your ring. You get a phone call. You get a phone call from Eric Bischoff's secretary saying, Eric wants you to call him. You call Eric, and Eric tells you that you're no longer with the company. And at the time he's telling you this, there's a FedEx person at your door with a termination contract. It's like, wow. You get the phone call from Eric, and at the same time, the FedEx comes talking about your contract is terminated. And now what do you do? So he goes to ECW, gets all his, he gets his confidence back, and he's back up there doing what he's doing best. And then he goes to WWE and he becomes Stone Cold Steve Austin. Listen, you can't ask for better karma than that. Because if it wasn't for Steve, I don't know if there would be a WWE to this day, because he helped save the company with everything that was going on when WCW was kicking the hell out of WWF in ratings. WCW almost put us out of the business. And, if it wasn't for Stone Cold Steve Austin, pulling the train at that point, and then, of course, you add in the other avenues, The Rock.
Right.
Big Show, Cactus, those main guys, and Kane, those main guys help help the train to go forward. Then you add in all the elements, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, Too Cool, Rikishi, everybody, Kim Shamrock was a part of that mix. We were all just working behind those guys and just making money.
Some quick thoughts, and I'm just going to name a few names, and you just tell me what you think. Raven.
A genius.
Taz.
Angry man.
Vince McMahon.
Ooh, I think a genius, a very shrewd businessman, but someone who's taken this business to the next level after his father.
Triple H.
Trying to think of the right word to use for Hunter. Because I've already used the word genius. I'm going to say genius. I'm going to say someone that can get whatever needs to get out of you, he can get it out of you. Someone that can read you before you even read yourself. That's Hunter. Hunter is like, he's very smart. He's very, he's very smart. He's very caring when he really likes somebody. When he wants to, look at Tommaso, look at all of the people that came under the tutelage in NXT. They all gravitate to Hunter. And why is it that Hunter can get out of people what Vince couldn't? It's because Hunter had a relationship with them way before they got to the main roster. And when you can build a relationship with talent, then it works. And that's what Hunter did.
Paul Heyman.
a madman, Dr. Frank. I love him to death. I owe my life to him.
And last on this list, Bubba Ray.
My brother, my part today. Don't, just because we fight with each other, don't think you can fight and get away with it, because we'll kill you. We'll turn on you. That's just the way it is. He is, as far as I'm concerned, the next Pat Patterson when it comes to putting matches together and having a mind for this business. He is a genius when it comes to finishes and things like that. I give Bubba his props in every interview that I do. And I want people to know how good he is, which is why a lot of people are threatened by him, because he can outmatch them any time of the day. I had 3 dreams in this business. One was to win those titles, those exact titles, hoping that they never changed them by the time we got there, and they didn't change them. The second one was to perform in Madison Square Garden, my hometown, a place where I grew up, a place where I would go watch WWF and feel the energy of the people. And secondly, was to have the late, great Howard Finkel announce my name. God, that was such an honor and a pleasure to have Howard Finkel do that. Listen, you can't think of the WWF back in the 80s and 90s without thinking about Howard Finkel. He was a tremendous ring announcer. He was a superstar in his own right. I mean, he was phenomenal. I loved Howard Finkel. God rest his soul. He is very well missed. Loved. Everybody loved Howard. Everybody.
Rest in peace, man. You guys and Billy Gunn, y'all good?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I know there's some questionable moments along the way. The injury happened, I think with Bubba Ray or something like that.
Well, no, when he hurt his arm or shoulder. Yeah. Oh, he had did that before our match. He didn't hurt it in the match, although that was the story that was being told.
Okay.
Story was being told. No, he was hurt before that. He actually, that was the night before, the week or 2 weeks prior to us winning the titles. They had a match with somebody, and in order for us to get in the mix with them, we ran in on their match, took a pipe and hit him in the arm with it, on the shoulder. So, but he was already hurt. So what fans didn't realize that we didn't hit the bad arm, we hit the good arm.
Okay.
So, but fans thought that we had heat because of that. There was no heat. Billy was already hurt before that. So it took everything in his power to hit that move, the Famouser, because remember, when he comes down with that one leg on it, he's also coming down on the arm to break the fall. And he sacrificed his arm to not hurt Bubba, during that. And, it was something that we will always be grateful for the new age Outlaws. They taught us so much being in the ring with them. They were so easy to work with. Billy was a pleasure. He was a natural athlete, and Road Dogg would have you in stitches every time you were in that ring with him.
Didn't they try to impersonate you one time? I think it was maybe in a different league or something like that.
TNA.
Yeah, TNA.
Yeah.
They like friendly throw shots, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, we were doing that with each other because we had a good feud in TNA. And like I said, I don't look at TNA as being bad. It was just that I didn't like the powers to be. I didn't like the people that were in charge at the time. That's what I didn't like about TNA during that time. It wasn't the organization. It wasn't the wrestling part of it. It wasn't the fans, and it wasn't the talent. It was the people working behind the scenes that I didn't care too much for.
24/7, 12 months a year, 365.